Hey, welcome back to Hobbies with Jose. I'm Jose Carbajal. Today we're unboxing and reviewing a Thanks for joining me again, everyone. It's good to have you back. So here we are at the beginning of a new project, and as I'm sure you saw in the thumbnail, we're going to be working on high-grade Gundam G40 industrial design version. Now, before we get started with the actual unboxing, I do want to let you know that I'm actually somewhat of a Gundam newbie. Wait, don't cancel me just yet. I absolutely love Gundam. You know, I've been a Transformers fan pretty much my entire life, but about a year and a half ago, I decided to check out Gundam, and I saw as much of the media as I could at that time. I actually binged a whole lot of it, and for some weird reason I decided to watch it kind of not in chronological order as it was released, but in chronological order of the time frame that it kind of took place in, which I don't think was really the smartest thing to do. But the first show that I saw was obviously the original 0079 Gundam, which I thought was fantastic even for the time frame that it was made in. And one of the natural offshoots of watching the Gundam anime is in the check out their model kits. They have some really excellent model kits that I of course had to try out for myself. Now at first I really had no idea on which kits I should start with because there's really just so many. But as I started looking into the different grades, I decided to start with the real grade Gundam, the RX-72, the granddaddy himself. So he was actually the first build that I ever made. At first I was a little bit concerned with just the absolutely tiny pieces that came with that kit and putting all those small parts together, the intricateness of those pieces moving together in unison. So after I completed my first real grade kit, I decided for the most part to stick with real grade. And there was a couple of reasons for that. One, just the level of detail that they have. Just the slight differences in the off-white panel parts of the body units do add a sense of realism to them. But the biggest reason why I decided to stick with real grade is mostly due to their size. I don't have a lot of display room to begin with, and if I start to collect a lot of master grades, that would be a problem for me. So real grades it is for me. Now, having said that, I have done one high grade kit so far, and that's the Turn A Gundam. He was actually one of the last shows that I saw on my epic Gundam binge, and what struck me about that show is just how different it felt from the other ones. Not only that, but the design and the look of the Gundam himself. I really wanted to get a good model kit of him, and since there's no real grade versions yet, I decided to go with the high grade. And that brings us to today's build. Now you might think I would want to do another real grade since that's what I'm mostly going to stick with, but no, it's going to be a high grade model kit. A couple of things about this model kit really struck me and caught my attention. This is kind of an updated redesign or industrial design version of the RX-78-2. And it's made in partnership with Ken Okuyama Design, who's known for designing some Ferraris. And just the design of the box is very striking, very elegant. The letters on top are foil, so they really do catch your eye. And from what I understand, this is really supposed to be one of the most articulated Gundams that are out there today, so I really had to pick it up. But with that said, let's take a look at inside and see what we've got. Now the first thing we've got is the instruction manual. And there is just a beautiful picture of the RX-78-2. Yeah, it looks like we're on the 40th anniversary. I don't feel old at all. Thankfully the instructions have translations in English, but even if it didn't have that, it's pretty self-explanatory. Just have to pay attention to the pictures and whatnot. And because it's a high grade, I think it's going to be relatively easy to put together, especially compared to real grades. Yeah, that's an iconic pose right there. I really should get myself an action stand. We've got the first bag here. The small runner is B2, has some parts for the hands. That'll be in different poses. The relaxed hands and the hands holding the weapons and whatnot. And the large runner is runner A. And this one has about 4 different colors on it. All the red pieces, a few blue pieces, yellow, and the black. Looks like parts for the weapons, the shield, the body. And we do get a very small sticker sheet. For the most part, I'm not a big fan of using stickers, so I probably won't be using this, but it's good to have it. And we've got our next bag here. And here we have a large white runner, B1. Has some more parts for the shield and for the body as well. You can see the pieces for the helmet here. His V-fin. Looks like his face mask there. And some clear pink pieces for his beam saber. SB13. I did find that the sabers themselves were a little bit long on previous kits, and I ended up shortening them down a little bit, which I may end up doing on this one depending on how it looks overall. So we'll see how it works out. And our final bag here. Yeah, we get two C runners here, so they're the same. Mostly parts for arms and the legs that are identical on both sides. But not a lot of parts to work with. Now there's one last item to take a look at here. That was another reason why I picked up the kit. And it actually has a really nice little booklet included that talks about the design of the model itself. And this is just a really good companion piece to have for the build, how they came up with the design. So that's really cool to have. Now I don't normally paint my Gundams. Giving them that top coat helps to remove that plasticky look to them, but there are usually some small sections, usually some metallic parts that I do paint. And one of the things about this kit, because it's a high grade, it doesn't have the inner frame that the real grades have. So the sections in the joints that would normally be either a gray, a dark gray, or a black, they're actually the same color as the main body in white. So I think I might go in there and paint those sections to add some extra detail to them. And because I don't plan on using the stickers, another section that I'm looking at here is going to be the eyes. I'm going to end up painting those in. Now I don't think that'll be too difficult since the eyes themselves are a bit sunken in as the other section, so it should be fairly easy to get that color separation there, but we'll see how that turns out. If I'm being honest, I think the piece that's going to give me the most trouble is this one here that has the yellow V onto it. There is a sticker for it, but then you lose the three-dimensional look and feel to it. So I'm going to paint that in, and we'll see how good of a job I can manage that. And the last bit of paint that I think I'll be adding to the figure is going to be on the top of the head here. Right on this little mohawk section, there is a section that's going to be like a hot pink. There is a sticker that's included for it that's on the sheet. But again, since I'm not going to be using those, I'm going to be painting that in. There's, I think, normally a camera that's inside of the actual Gundam itself. So it has like a metallic look to it, or like a see-through. It looks lit up on the picture that's on the instruction manual. So I might try to recreate that, but I don't have any kind of a metallic pink paint, so I'm not sure how I'll get that accomplished, but we'll take a look at that. And that's going to be it for today's review and unboxing, everyone. I hope you join me for the actual build itself. I think it's going to be a fun one. I don't think this will take as many episodes as it did for my custom Shatter figure, but don't quote me on that. I'm not that fast of a builder to begin with, so we'll see how that goes. So on the next episode, we'll go ahead and start getting the pieces off of the sprue, start putting it together, maybe even adding some paint as we're going along. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and as always, there's that like button. Those are always appreciated, along with the subscription button and the notification bell as well. And if you haven't noticed, I've added some new social media accounts that you can follow me on. I have one for Facebook, one for Instagram, and I have a new Twitter account dedicated to the channel as well, but you're more than welcome to follow me on my personal Twitter account, as long as, of course, you don't mind any pictures of my breakfast burritos, so you've been warned. Hope you all take care, and I'll see you on the next one.